welcome to another call. So today I have with us Natalia Schifini. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about her and you're going to see why I brought her on the show. So Natalia Schifini, who's also bilingual, she specializes in empowering women to navigate life's transitions with grace and with clarity, guiding her clients to break through limiting beliefs and unlock their fullest potential. She has within her the ability to connect others very deeply with their own bodies, fostering emotional and physical well-being in many different ways. Now, today, she's here to talk with us about a very important and timely topic. She's here to ask you, are you a woman that's hiding from your wealth and from your gifts? Natalia, hi, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Angelica, for your invitation. I'm really honored to be here, and I hope that what I am going to share is going to be of value to you and get you inspired as well.
It definitely is. And that's why I said it's a very timely conversation. Because, so before we actually get into the topic, can you share with us just a little bit of what made you do the work that you're doing? How did you end up here? What's a little bit of that story?
It's very interesting because I came to the United States when I was 19 to work in hotels, and one thing led to the other one. When I was younger, my dad asked me what did I want to study. I said I want to be a gym teacher or I want to work in hotels. And my dad said, you know what, let's go with hotels first. It was a very expensive career back in the day, and I came here working in hospitality. But after 5 years of working in hotels, I realized I had a bigger purpose. I
Mhm.
realized that my calling was bigger than what I was doing in the hotel industry. And I became a personal trainer. So I transitioned right into wellness. I became a personal trainer, a yoga instructor, then a hands-on healer.
Mhm.
Then I started with other things, hypnotherapy, neuro-linguistic program practitioner. So one thing led me into the other one, and it was basically the commitment to make a bigger impact. Really, I am very inspired to share tools with women that empower them, that gets them unstuck, that gets them inspired. And furthermore, gives them the sense of caliber and confidence to take on something new, create something new. Sometimes, we have areas or times that we go through that rut or being bored or being unfulfilled, and
Mhm.
it takes us recreating ourselves. So that's what I like helping women with the most. Maybe you're a career woman and you're trying to be a businesswoman or create additional income, and so everything we're going to talk about is related with that.
Yeah. And I love that because obviously when you're a child, you're like, I want to do this or this. And there's no similarity. Like a PE teacher to hospitality. Like, okay. But I love when you said, and you know that I take notes, I love when you said when you felt your calling was bigger than what you were doing. And I think that's the step into we're at wherever we are. Call it a corporate job, call it a mom and dad job, whatever it is that we're doing. But you have this calling inside. Not that what you're doing is bad, but that you feel you can do better. You feel like that calling that really comes through. But then it was more of when you have to have the confidence to create something new. And I think that's the part that maybe, in my opinion, and you're the expert on this, I think maybe sometimes that's what people are missing is that self-confidence of, okay, I have the calling, but who am I to do this? Or I have the calling, or can I really do this? Can you talk to me about that, if that makes sense?
Absolutely. It makes total sense. And you're right on point, Angelica. It really is the self-imposed limitation. It comes from trauma. It comes from past experiences, things that we didn't swallow, understand, process, let go of that happened in the past. And it leaves us many times with a limited belief about ourselves,
Mhm.
our capacity, our caliber, our ability, and or bringing attention to ourselves brings us to a place of feeling shameful, or it feels inadequate to bring attention. We feel like we become entitled or we shouldn't be doing that. Taking up space is uncomfortable. The woman plays a very specific role that through history, we were there to take care of others, to,
Mhm.
make the space comfortable and safe and nurturing. And we played a role to bring that sense of stability. And we fulfill many times other people's expectations of the role we needed to play.
Mhm.
So as we develop this desire. We feel many times inadequate or that is selfish, to go after our dream. And many times the dream is simply making a bigger impact, making a bigger difference, having the ability to touch other people's lives.
Mhm.
And we're meant to do that. And so when you're feeling, that is selfish or greedy or inadequate or you shouldn't do, it leaves you very, very confused. And so I help women sort that out. You taking on your dreams makes you a better version available for your family, for your immediate, environment, for the people you work with and or for. And so it's important that we take on our dreams and we fulfill our desire to make that bigger impact.
Right. And I love that because it's not just like you just said, it's not just for us, it's also for our families. And when you were
Yeah.
talking about that, yeah, in the past, the women were known to give the comfort to everybody else, to be the nurturer to everybody else. And it's okay. Maybe it's time for you to turn that inward. Like I was
Hmm.
talking to somebody, I think it was like last week, and she was like, I just don't want to break the person's heart and I just don't want to do this. And I never want to do something to hurt the other person. And I go, I know how much love you have for everybody else. What about if you can finally start having that love for you? And it took her like a second and a half. So I laugh, the computers when they're like stuck on something, you get like I have a Mac, so the little windows like thinking, thinking. I could see in her face, she was like, computing. What did you just tell me? Like she just blanked out. And then tears, literal tears. And I
Hmm.
was like, we forget to take care of ourselves. And you're right. People think that I'm doing this and I'm going to be selfish. But it's not. It's really owning up to your own calling, desire, heart, whatever you want to do, does help,
Hmm.
even the people most immediate, which is what you were talking about. So, okay, easier said than done. Obviously, you're here. There's a lot of people like you. I want people to reach out to you if they're feeling like this. This is what you help people with. But if we take it a step back, can you or are you able to help someone or give a tool or something that maybe a person feels I have this inside me. How do I know that's my calling? Or how do I know I'm just trying to quote unquote escape? Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So, there's so many things I want to share. So I want to clear my mind on what is the most important at this point. I think that the most important thing is really connecting with your authentic self. You have a mission, you have a purpose, and there's a legacy you want to leave behind, something that you want to be remembered as. And the contribution you left, as your legacy is something that you're meant to do, that you're the only person that can fulfill that purpose, that is meant to share that gift with society, the community. So if you were not to step into that purpose, if you were not to dare to do that, in many times is something that it never is created, that purpose is not fulfilled.
Hmm.
So it is something that is unique to you. It's your gift, right? That's what we call the gift. Is it something you bring to this earth that is meant to be shared? And if you don't have the confidence, maybe you take away the opportunity for a community to be impacted, for people to be supported and or inspired with your story, with your journey. We teach the most sharing our story.
Hmm.
And so your story is meant to be shared, the struggles you went through and what you overcame, and very much linked with your spiritual gift. What is your unique gift that you are meant to bring? And so when you step into your authentic self, you eliminate the chatter, the noises, the limited belief, the fear, the need to control things, the expectation, the attachment to the outcome. You become 100% aligned with our authentic self. All the chatter falls away. Then you're following that path that you're meant to. Many times we get distracted with shiny object syndrome. We get distracted with, am I capable of doing that? Do we have that imposter syndrome, and all these things are calling our attention, getting us distracted, making us spinning wheels. If we step into that purpose, we have that sense of confidence that we're doing what we're meant to do. And it takes letting all that chatter, all that noise, all that distraction fall away, being present and really committing to that 100%. And it means that you're also going to take responsibility for that which you want to bring to the world and staying focused, being accountable, 100% own that responsibility versus leaving it up to somebody else because it might not be done if you leave
Right.
it to somebody else. Mm-hmm.
No, I love that. And what you just said, I wrote it down. So own the responsibility of it. So I shared with you on a pre-call, and I'm going to share with the audience now. So many of my audience, obviously, they know me as Angie. And I finally took up the ownership of my actual name. And it's not just something legal, it's not anything in that sense. But as I'm listening to you right now talk, and this is the reason I'm bringing it up, before, yes, I was committed to the show. Yes, I was committed to my spirituality. Yes, to my coaching clients, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But right now that I have taken ownership of the gift that is my name, of the gift of what is my life, my essence, I feel what you just said. The chatter literally went away. That's why I
Yeah.
wanted to share it because what you're saying before would have sounded like, oh my God, yes, that's possible. Right now, it feels so grounded that it's like, I know in like the deepest part of like me, yeah, it's so different. And what you just said right now, you take responsibility of that ownership. If you are not here to do that and that is your gift, then it gets lost. And when you said that, I'm like, yeah, I'm not letting that happen. Like I've always fought my way in a way with life, with circumstances, with obstacles. And right now I feel like there's no fight. Who was I fighting? It was
Mm-hmm.
the me against me, but then again, it was the me against my own courage. It was the me against my own wanting to stand out. It was the, and those are the things that I think many of us women, men included, but I think many of us women do fight with. It's with ourselves. And that's where you step in. That's where you're able to help them into saying what you did. Like there's trauma, there's past lives, there's healing, there's alignment. Once you remove all of that and find yourself, now I'll fast forward to me when you find yourself in that confidence, then you're owning your gift, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. When we are operating from that conditioning, that trauma, that story from the past, we don't see ourselves clearly. We
Mm-hmm.
don't see our mission. We don't see our purpose. We don't see what we can provide of value because we have the lenses that block us from being able to see the uniqueness that we bring to the world. But when we eliminate all that chatter, all that noise, and we really focus on what that gift is and own that gift, take up the space, own that presence that you bring to the world, you're not going to have a question on whether you're doing or not. You're going to be busy doing. It's almost like it propels you into action. You start doing the things, you start developing the project, you start making the difference already. So it gets you from being out, watching the game from the outside in the cheer, cheer line, cheerleaders, or outside the cheer, into the game to play 100%. And I always share with women, there's body, mind, and soul. You should be at the top, the most important thing. This goes upside down as you become a mother and you develop a career, and then you want to own a business on the side, and you have a million responsibilities with your community, elderly parents, and all these things are pulling your attention. So we feel that we don't have enough time to take care of ourselves. And I always tell people, from being in this place where you are letting everything else be a priority, you are the least important place. The first place we go is to turn this upside down again so that you can be the most important thing, not from a place of being selfish, but knowing that you taking care of you makes you be more expansive,
Mm-hmm.
confident, cheerful, joyful, and you're going to make a bigger impact. And also, people are going to enjoy a better version of you.
Yeah.
And so, we eliminate all that mommy guilt and all that, place of feeling inadequate or selfish or all the other stories. And when we step into that mission, we're going to get a sense of being propelled forward. It's almost like a calling, like we say, it's a calling, right? Starts calling you from the future to act in a certain way, to do the actions. And there's no sense of wondering if it's the right thing or not. You're just busy doing.
Mm-hmm. And I love that because yeah, you don't have that chatter of should I be doing this or should I be doing that? You just kind of know this is what you want to do. And there's like no question. There's like no doubt. That's so cool. Yay, thank you. Okay. So, uh, all right. So let's mix everything up. There's different ways that you can help them. Obviously, this is what you help them with. Everybody comes with, I don't mean to say it in a rude way, everybody comes with their own different package. Do you find similar traits or do you find something similar in the group of people that you help, in the group of women, or in the conversations that they have, that they say, only if blah, 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 then I can do this? Are people, do they still, I don't want to say categorize themselves, but do they still give excuses? Let's put it that way. Are there still some that give excuses as to, yes, I get what you're saying, but I'm still not there yet? Because everybody's at their own divine timing, to put it that way.
Yeah, there is a common thread. I tend to attract holistic practitioners, heart-centered, spiritual women that have done their own share personal growth and transformation. So intellectually, they know the quote unquote shoulds, they know all the theory, they understand. If they could be the best coaches, mentors, advisors for anybody else that came to give them the advice, but truly from knowing to doing, there's a gap. And that's actually what I help women with. Maybe they've done enough self development and work, and personal transformation that they know they should be doing this one thing, but it's hard to be accountable to ourselves. It's really a hard thing to do all across the board for human beings. But if you're a woman and you're busy and you're multi-passionate, which is like a common thread with most of the people that follow me, they're holistic practitioners, creatives of all nature, artistic in nature. There is this thread that we come here with a red cape syndrome. We want to save the world, but we get overwhelmed in saving
Mhm.
the world and we forget about saving ourselves.
Mhm.
The wounded healer, like you're here to make a difference on everybody's life. You're the best at giving advice. But when you look really deep inside, there's care that is missing in your personal self-care. And so I had two women that I met in the last month, both doctors, and, they hold space for other people to heal. But self-care is one of the weakest points in their personal point of balance. So
Mhm.
adding that in is truly what makes the difference. And it also empowers them to make a bigger impact because they're being an example of what's available. If they were to follow their own guidance, they will be applying all the shoulds that many times we don't apply and we leave in the shoulds, and it disempowers us because we beat ourselves up, we make ourselves wrong, we go into that vicious cycle of trying, failing, giving up, trying, failing, giving up. And so if we were to put a little bit of being graceful with ourselves, understanding we're human beings, we're going to fail, fall on our face, and we have to bring ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and try again, because we're never going to fail unless we stop trying.
Mhm.
Just that approach of being graceful, being candid with ourselves, and applying self-care and self-love first and foremost, it leaves you with more room to make a bigger impact with anybody else. And we have it backwards. We tend to go backwards with that. So I think that's a common thread for the people that I work with. Self-care tends to go missing, and the accountability piece and somebody holding their hand, patting them in the back, reminding them, holding them accountable is what ultimately makes the biggest difference, I think, with the people that I work with. Yeah.
No, beautiful. And I love that you're able to catch on what I did try to say, but that was it. I was like, I know there's a question in there somewhere. But it's true because it's um I don't know the sayings. I know there's some saying that's like if the doctors are the ones that eat the worst, and we have all these different ways of yeah, being able to tell other people, but not do it for ourselves. And that's what you help women do. You help them bring themselves first, which I love the thing you did about the triangle, because yeah, we tend to want, not even want to, we just tend to do it. We put everything and everybody else underneath, and then we'll supposedly get taken care of later, and we don't. So I love that reminder and I love that flip. And it just reminds me of like the airplane. They always tell you you put on the mask first and then of
Yeah.
everybody else. And it's true. If we're not okay, and it's not being from a selfish point of view, like we were saying, if we're not okay to help other people, how are we going to keep depleting and depleting? Just like somebody who keeps working and working and working, it's going to come to a point that you're out of battery. You're damaging yourself. You're exhausted. Your body's exhausted. You don't even think logically. Energetically, and self-care and self-love is absolutely the same thing. Supposedly there are things we don't see, but we do see them manifest in the world. We do see the unhappiness, the depression. A lot of women who are very unhappy in their lives. And maybe it's just because they haven't found their calling or found a confidence in themselves to follow that calling. So, with that said, I know
Yeah.
we're running out of time, hun. I
Yeah.
want people to be able to reach out to you. How do they get in touch with you? Where can they reach you? What are all the details?
Yeah, you can feel free to tag me or message me directly if you have any question or anything you want to ask me about. I also have a Facebook group where I do weekly free trainings for heart-centered women, women that want to either transition from corporate into entrepreneurship or being able to monetize their gift in any other way, creating an additional income. And so I offer trainings that are related with all that process and transition. So I think the link will be posted once this podcast is out. So I invite you to just message me or text me, whatever it is that you want to ask me. I'm open. Welcome your consultation or any invitation to meet and get to know each other, maybe collaborate in some sort of way. But yeah, I'm open enough to receive any messages from you. Thank you so much.
Perfect. And yeah, for sure, I'm going to go ahead and put the links on there because it is important what you're doing. And I think the way that you speak of it and you're able to help people, we need more of that in the world. We need
Thank
more
you.
people to be able to do that. And we need to be able to open a space, which is what this platform is all about, to be able to bring you out and say, okay, people, we all go through it because I went through it and everybody goes through it, except now we're able to talk about it more openly and have people like you to say, okay, I get you, I see you. This is what we can do. Now let's help you shine. Because I think between women, that's a lot of the things that are very empowering nowadays. It's woman to woman. I know what it's like. Let's do this. You're not going crazy. I got it. So thank you so much, Natalia, for coming on the show, for talking to us, for sharing your wisdom, sharing your heart. I know today's a little crazy, the day that we're recording, but we made it work because the calling is there for both of us. So
Yes.
thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Angelica. See you soon.
And bye, everyone. See you guys soon.